Hello and welcome back to the Greenhorn Photo Taker for part 2 in planning my Alabama Hills photography trip later on in the spring. So last we spoke, I spent an inordinate amount of time plowing through Google Earth for maybe 30 minutes or more, all on video. I can't believe anyone actually finished that video, but if you did, God bless you. Today will be much shorter, and what I really want to do is nail down my daily itinerary. So I have my hotels booked, I've got my airfare booked, I've got my car rental booked, I'm all ready to go. So what I have in front of me is my blank spreadsheet that I use for every single road trip, and basically I need to fill in the blanks. The dates I have on here are fictitious. I don't particularly want to tell everyone when I'll be out of town. I do know that I'm going to get into Las Vegas probably around 9 a.m. So I'm going to make an entry for that. I'm going to arrive in Las Vegas at 9 a.m. I know that I probably will have to have a checked bag. I need to carry on my camera equipment, which means that'll be my one carry-on luggage. And then there's no way 5 days worth of clothes will fit in a small tote. So I'm gonna have to check a bag in order not to put my camera equipment into the checked bag luggage. And I'm saying this because then I need to plan for how long it might take me to leave the airport, get the rental car, etc. So let's say if my flight arrives at 9, I would probably get to leave the airport. Let's be a little conservative. Let's say at 11. So at 11 a.m., I'm going to start my journey west. So where would that be to? I know that I am, and I mentioned this last time, I'm going to stay in Death Valley for day one. I've already decided that I'm going to take the southern route and how to get there, meaning I will go from Vegas to Shoshone maybe, through Badwater, and then into Stovepipe Wells. So let's just do some timing. Harry Reid to Shoshone. And along the way, I'm going to have to stop for groceries. I know I'll be doing a lot of eating in the field or in the car, as opposed to at a rest stop or a restaurant, especially for breakfast and lunch. So I need to stop and get supplies. So let's just search along the route and see where there's some grocery stores. I didn't love the grocery stores in Las Vegas in previous trips, so I want to find something in Pahrump. So I'll probably go to Smith's. So Vegas to Shoshone with stopping at the grocery store, let's say is going to be 2 hours. 90 minutes of driving, give me half hour in the grocery store. That would leave me getting to Shoshone at 12:30 p.m. So, and then from Shoshone, I want to spend time basically driving the scenic route of Badwater Road, stopping at Badwater Basin and the Devil's Golf Course. So let's say, let's first see how long it is, Shoshone to Badwater. I do like to track miles in time too. So this is 85 miles and 1.5 hours of drive time. Shoshone to Badwater is, that's long. That's still another hour. Let's say 1.1 hours. And that is 56 miles. So if all goes well, that's so late. That's late. I'm going to get to Badwater at 1:30 p.m. or so. So when the times don't specifically add up, right? 1.1 hours of drive time. Let's just assume that maybe I'll get done at 10:50 and those 10 extra minutes are already accounted for in the calculations. And then I want to photograph Badwater. And then right up the road, I think it's only a couple miles, is the Devil's Golf Course. Yeah, so let's just say Badwater and Devil's Golf Course will all do in one setting, and we don't need to have separate, calendar entries for that one photographic area. So, Badwater and Devil's Golf Course. Photography. I would love 2 hours there. Let's see if we can get 2 hours to work. So that means that's going to be so late. 1:30 p.m. to 3:30 p.m. I'm going to reserve for photography. I have to check the weather. Actually, let's do that first. So AccuWeather, I hate AccuWeather, but they have a monthly forecast. This far away into April, I mean, it's not accurate. It's basically the seasonal averages for this time of year, but it is still worth looking at it. April 20th, 93 degrees. I'm already questioning my sanity. All right, so 93 went to high of 93. And what was the low? The low was 60. And I'll update this, as we get closer with a better forecast. But for our purposes today, I should plan for 93 degrees. So, and why I'm asking this, can I realistically spend 2 hours in the sun at 93 degrees? I mean, probably not, to be honest. I am very fair-skinned. And I could really see that being too long of a time. It'll be leaps and bounds better than the 120 degrees I've experienced there in the past. So I think it's doable to spend some extended time there, but maybe not 2 hours. Either way. And then we want to stay at the Stovepipe Village Hotel. And that's 45 minutes away. Let's just call it an hour to be safe. 3:30 to 4:30. Check-in time, I believe, is 4:30. So that might be okay. So check-in time is 4:30. So now, really important part of the planning is I'm looking forward to sunset photography, golden hour photography. In Death Valley, specifically at the Mesquite Flat Sand Dunes, is what I settled on. So I'm going to bring up the Photo Pills app. And with the Photo Pills app, I can see golden hour, sunset times, moon stuff. So let me zoom into Death Valley. I need to find it. There's Lee Vining, so we're down here. Why can't I find Death? Oh, there's Death Valley. Stovepipe Wells, Mesquite Flat Sand Dunes. So I'll pick a spot in the dune. I have to pick the 22nd of April. So for the 22nd of April, the sun sets at 7:30 p.m. and golden hour. There we go. This is what I need. So I'm writing down this information here. I'm going to back into it. Sunset photography. Mesquite Flat. So we need to know golden hour is what? 6:54 to 7:46. Sunset is 7:30 p.m. And full dark, because I've never seen a dark sky. I've never seen a dark sky, and this is one of the things that I cannot wait for. It's like I should be able to see more stars than I've ever seen in my entire life. So full dark, according to Photo Pills, full dark is 9:03 p.m. So already, this is probably too long of a day. I'm pretty sure my flight leaves at 6 a.m. Actually, I know it does. Somewhere around 6 a.m., maybe 6:30. Which means I'm leaving my house at, 4 a.m.? And then full dark is basically midnight Eastern time. So, that's just an incredibly long day. And it might be too much. Adrenaline should get me through this. But I may have to just say, you know what, I can't do certain things on this list. and I'll plan for that as well. You know what I do need to check, though? I'm pretty sure I'm okay. When does the moon rise? Do we have the moon on photopills? We definitely do. Moon, moon, moon. Okay, so this is awesome as well. The moon is up during the day. So the moon rise is 3:13 a.m. and the moon set is 1:49 p.m. Moon set 1:49 p.m. And why that's important, of course, is because that means the stars will be fully visible. Because the moon will be down. So even though there is a waning crescent moon, 32% visible, which really could and would impact normal viewing of the stars, because it is rising during the day and sets in the afternoon, it'll be full dark at night. I'll double check that's how it works, but seems reasonable. So that's going to be great. Okay, let's do check-in and dinner, 4:30 p.m. to 5:30 p.m. Let's do check-in and quick dinner. I have to sleep on the plane. I have to. That is such a long day. Again, so it's basically 4 a.m. to midnight of traveling. I don't know if I can do that. I honestly don't know if I can do that. All right. We're going to make it work somehow. I'll get a good night's sleep. Oh, I want to do sunrise. All right, that's the plan for now. If I have to change, I have to change. So the next day, let's change on photopills. Not that it'll change that much in a day. The next day is the 23rd, and I definitely want to get up for sunrise. I don't think I'm going to go into the dunes. I just want to see sunrise from the hotel. So let's see what sunrise is on the 23rd. Same thing. Sunrise photography. On the 23rd, golden hour in the morning is 5:47 to 6:39. Sunrise is actually 6:04 a.m. And first light, so civil twilight is 5:37. So I just have to decide, when do I want to go outside to view that? Probably as early as possible, but we'll see how tired I am. So sunrise photography would be over at 6:40. That's when golden hour is done, and I can start my day. I do remember breakfast is at 7 a.m., so that probably works out well. So do I take a nap or do I hit the road? I'm going to plan to hit the road, but reserve the right to take a nap if I have to. But we're going to head to Father Crowley, and I don't necessarily want to do photography along the way here. I think I decided that last time. That's what I'm remembering anyway. So that's 38 miles, 0.75. You know what? Before I do that, let us definitely open up Google Earth for a moment. Well, I have you. I got bored this winter, and I plotted every road trip I've taken. Maybe I'll make a video of that one day. But anyway, we'll do that another day. Here's the routes of every road trip I've taken and the main destinations. But for our purposes now, I just wanted to see what stovepipe wells look like. For sunrise, I don't want to go far. I'm just going to stay at the hotel. Let's just pick sunrise in the east. So it should rise here somewhere. So the next morning on the 23rd, that would be cool to see the galactic core. Ugh, I can't get up that night to see the galactic core. It's too much. So on the 23rd, there's sunrise. Ugh, Oh my gosh. Oh, that would be amazing. Look how beautiful that looks in Google Earth. Could you imagine seeing it in real life? Okay. All right, that was a little bit of a sidebar. Where were we? Where were we? I'm getting excited. All right, drive to Father Crowley. We want to leave at 8 a.m. Right, if I have breakfast at 7, let's figure on leaving at 8 a.m. Get there at 8:45 a.m. I don't know, I've been there before. I don't have high hopes for this, but I did want to explore when it's not 1,000 degrees. So let's just say an hour I'll be here. Shoot Father Crowley. That sounds very interesting. So from 8:45 a.m. to 9:45 a.m. And then we want to go Father Crowley to Lone Pine. That is only another 45 minutes. Okay. Maybe I do take a nap at this point. All right, so let's say 10 a.m. and I want to stop along the way and take pictures as much as I can. So let's give myself another hour with various stops. So let's say 10 a.m. to noon is the drive to Father Crowley to Lone Pine. And then I want to explore composition for sunset in AH. Figure I'll have lunch there. Let's say 12:30 to 2:30 p.m. If golden hour is 6:59, 3:30 to 5:30. Maybe I'll get an hour rest in there too. So I just know myself and I don't want to overdo it in a specific day. If you think about it, like what I have going, right, is extreme in terms of the amount of hours with absolutely no downtime, lots of driving. You know, you don't want to put yourself in a situation where it's dangerous. But there's time built in that I can change this on the fly if I have to. Okay, let me do this next day without you. I'm sure this is getting boring. I'll be back in a moment. Okay, I'm back. Similar things. I've got the sunrise, sunset times, golden hour. I don't need all day for a composition, though, in Alabama Hills. So I'm going to add Owens Lake. I discussed this with everyone last time. Turn off sunset. Let's go. As I drive west, there's this Owens Lake area that I want to explore as well. So I'm going to do that during the day after the sunrise shoot. I'm not going to put any time frames on this. I have the whole day. I'm within one area. Everything's within 15 minutes of each other. I'm not going to worry about it. I'm going to play it by ear. That's going to be a great day. It really is. I'm so excited. And the same thing, I have the opportunity for Alabama Hills at night. What I haven't done is let's check the weather in Lone Pine. 44 is kind of cold. So 77, 44 is what we can expect in Lone Pine. So I'm just thinking now out loud, 40 degrees at night if I'm trying to do something with the stars. It's pretty darn cold. I had to pack, so, you know, I have to now pack for 40-degree winter temperatures and, you know, potentially 100-degree summer temperatures. Okay, we'll figure that out. Oh, my pack list is going to be crazy. Let's do one last day. We want to get out on the 24th. So I probably will convince myself to do sunset or sunrise. I'll do that on my own. But then how do we get out of, what route do we want to take to get out of Lone Pine? So again, let's look at, I want to go Lone Pine to Las Vegas. And that is a 4-hour ride. So let's say we hit the road at 8 o'clock again. That gives me 4 extra hours to do something. So do I want to go back to Death Valley? Maybe I can look at Red Rock Canyon. I've been there before. Maybe my youngest daughter and I went to Valley of Fire State Park. Let's just see. Is that too far away? I don't think it is. So if I left at 8, I get to Valley of Fire at 12:30. And then have to head back to Las Vegas for evening. That's not bad. I mean, that's just a waste of a drive. Although I have been to the Goldwell Open Air Museum before. That would be fun to go back to. So Valley of Fire is an option. I'm gonna write it down. Because, okay, I'm not telling the whole story. My youngest daughter and I absolutely loved the Valley of Fire. But again, it was too hot. It was the summer. It was 105 degrees there. So let's check Valley of Fire in the spring. Hold on. Before I get my hopes up. What is the typical temperature for the Valley of Fire on April 27th or whatever it is, 25th? Oh, could you imagine? If it's 81.47, I have to hike there. I have to. So we're going to need 2 options. That would be absolutely incredible to get a Valley of Fire hike in on this trip. It seems like a long shot. Okay. The other option I have is to explore Death Valley again. So I've been to this section of Death Valley. I'm not going to hike. I'm not comfortable hiking in Death Valley at this point. On my own. But there was yes, this is what I saw the other day. As in, what is the Ubahibi crater? The Ubahibi crater. And that looks like you can drive up to it. Let's just see. Let's cross this out. Is there a road up here? That's a road. Is it paved? That does not. Oh, that is paved. Okay. Okay, so maybe we do the Ubahibi crater if it's hot. Let's look at some of these pictures, though. Oh, do you walk around it? Look at that. You do walk around it. So what is the elevation of Ubahibi crater? And I want to know this because if it's higher elevation, then I can deal with the temperature will be lower. And it won't be Death Valley 100 degrees. So the rim is, I can't really tell here. Oh, here's the parking lot. 3,000 feet. The rule of thumb is 5 degrees for every 1,000 feet. So let's say if it's 91 in Death Valley, 3,000 feet higher, it'll be 15 degrees lower. So that's probably doable. All right, so let's put Ubahibi crater down as an option too. So this is what I think the answer will be. Let's just check. So Ubahibi crater from Lone Pine. I don't want to drive through Death Valley again, though, just to do it. So, is there a way I can go north? So, 2 hours and 23 minutes, the fastest way, or if I go up, that's doable. So, add another 45 minutes, and we can drive on roads that I've never driven before. So, I've never been up 395. It's actually something I've always wanted to do was, basically from Lake Tahoe down to Lone Pine, drive 395. I've been to this section of 395. So what? I think that might be more appealing. Let's just see what 395 looks like. North of Lone Pine. Yeah. That looks really nice without the blur. Can we get the blur out of there, Google? I guess now I get the blur. So that's the Sierra Nevadas, Inyo Mountains. Do we want to drive up 395? This is 168. Let's see what 168 looks like. Nice winding road. This looks like typical desert. Oh, that's pretty cool, actually. All right, so I think it's a game time decision. The day of, I will decide, drive to the Valley of Fire and do a hike there, or walk around the top of Ubehebe Crater in Death Valley and do a walk there. Then we'll stay in Las Vegas the night before, and then my flight leaves around noon that next day, earlier in April. Okay, I think we're going to end it here. Maybe we'll do one more video in the next month or so about packing, because I am definitely worried about what happens if at the airport they will not let me take my camera bag on as my overhead luggage. And what would I do there? So I do have to come up with a scheme of how I would remedy that situation and pack the camera gear somewhere else and just carry it on. I saw someone on YouTube say, buy a vest with, big pockets, and you could probably get 3 lenses and your camera body in there and just walk around with that on your person. It seems kind of risky, but I guess not in the airport. Anyway, that'll be a future video and how I try to overcome that. Hopefully my excitement has come through. I cannot wait to take this trip. I've never done anything like this before. So thanks for bearing with me as I take you along for this journey. And if there's anything you think I'm missing or should do differently, please let me know in the comments. I'm a complete novice at this and would appreciate any feedback. Thanks so much for watching. Get out, explore.